On the awakening journey, you're usually left by all of your friends. It can be quite surprising, quite strange, can't it? Through no fault of your own, most of your friends are taken away to different parts of the country, or different parts of the world for that matter. They're offered jobs that they didn't expect, etc. And you can be left alone thinking, whoa, I didn't sign up for this. Essentially, we're being put alone on the awakening journey for good reason. If we're really honest with ourselves, we might see that we're a little bit scared to be on our own, and that's one thing that we've carried through our lives, throughout it really, and it is that fear that is one of the reasons that we're in this alone period, so that we can overcome it, and so that we almost become very powerful in our own self-worthiness, so that we don't need other people in our lives. It will happen, likely, that you'll have other people in your lives, but they'll be there for the right reasons, because they uplift you, not because they pull you down because you're too scared to say no to them. I'm going to go into this today, so by all means, watch this video. So we have 5 reasons that I've thought of as to why I went through the awakening process alone. It happens to everyone. I can't say everyone, but everyone that I speak to, everyone that I've ever experienced in my life goes through this, as they go through this awakening process. The first reason why you're alone in the awakening journey is, quite frankly, if you're really honest with yourself, because you have this fear of being alone. Sometimes that can translate into a bit of neediness, like filling a hole inside, that emotional hole inside, with people. Even when those people are not the right quality of people to aid you on your awakening, they'll actually hold you back. Be that people that are a bit draining, be that people that are quite controlling, be that people that lie. There's nothing worse than when you're trying to increase your intuition, your intuitive abilities, than somebody who is dishonest, because it will make you question your own abilities and it will hold you back. Your instinct is usually dead on, and you need to trust that in yourself. I'm having to learn to trust that right now in me. I'm open to being wrong. Of course, we always have to be open to being wrong, but when we get an intuitive feeling, when it feels like somebody's lying, when it feels like somebody's being controlling, when it feels like somebody's not being totally honest, you're usually dead right. The second reason why you might be finding yourself alone in the awakening process is really because you don't really respect yourself enough yet, and it takes a period of alone time for us to do that. By being alone, we learn to love ourselves. Now, I don't mean the I and the mind, myself being this guy that chats to me in my head. No, that's not ourself, because it's chatting to you, isn't it? It's just a voice. You're the one witnessing to it and believing the thoughts, for example. It's not actually your voice. So I don't mean falling in love with that personality, that I identity, that mental I in the brain. I mean falling in love with yourself. The being, the feeling, that insatiating space of, I don't like to use these words, but there's lovely blissful feeling inside. If you're not feeling that yet, that's why you're alone. To start feeling that, to start noticing the worthiness, the inherent worthiness that you have within, to start feeling into that, to start engaging and stoking up that inner fire through pranayams, meaning breathing practices, or through yoga. This is your time to shine shortly, but in order to shine you have to put good foundations in, right? You have to shine for you first before you can shine for others. Does that make sense? I don't know why I just asked a camera if that makes sense. It does to me, because I'm seeing in my life, if I'm shining within, I can really help other people. If I begin loving who I am, I really start helping other people just by being who I am. You know, by going through the journey, by sharing little tidbits that help me. And you'll be the same. But you have to gain those tidbits first, and we do that by going in nice and deep, and we can't do that with other people on the surface. Let's be honest, if you kept getting social opportunities, what would you pick? Social opportunities with friends or meditation? Obviously we'd pick social opportunities because it's easy, it's fun, it's fast, it's quick, there's no effort. But meditation, yoga, let's not use the word meditation because we can't really meditate until we've done enough yoga first anyway. But yoga, connecting to that divine energy within you, connecting to that feeling space, it takes effort, doesn't it? Like I mentioned in a video the other day, we have to physically translate physical actions into a spiritual feeling, a spiritual result. And we can only do that alone. We can't do that if friends keep saying, come out for a meal, let's go party, let's go bowling, because you'll go and you'll know that if you drink alcohol it will dim you, and then the mind goes a bit negative and the breath changes as well if you're doing lots of breath work. So they're just distractions. It's life's way of saying sit down in your seat, go deeper without distractions. You've been asking somewhat in some way, and you'll know this, for a new beginning, a new start, a fresh life. And you're being offered this opportunity, but you have to go deep into yourself and heal the wounds first, right? And sometimes it can be a bit scary, like, oh, is it going to be like this forever? Or am I always going to be in this pain? No, you won't. But you will if you don't do the work. You know? There's a nice saying that my teacher used to say, and it is, this too shall pass. And that is half right. This too shall pass, but you have to put the work in. If you want to accelerate the awakening process, so you're in the pain for less time, especially in the dark night of the soul, there's my daily routine that I used to do. That's down below. It's not free, but you're more than welcome to read through it, see if it's something that you feel like you can pick up. If you want something free, there's a cosmic double breathing practice. It's a pranayama, meaning breathing practice, that will help aliven you, oxygenate your body, energize the nervous system and relax the mind somewhat. Life's putting you on your own because usually, and I only know this from my journey, you give away your power too easily to people. Coming through the form of neediness, perhaps. Coming through the form of attention seeking, perhaps. I only know because I used to do it. And it's ugly, you know, and it can be difficult then for people to respond in a good way to that. So you're being put on your own, essentially, by life. Life's taken your friends away from you so that we heal that wound. It comes, from my experience, from a hole inside. This unloved one that needs to be loved, and we're not going to get it from the external world, because if we do, it's conditional. It's conditional on other people. We can fill that hole, like filling a cup up with water, with the love that we give to ourselves. Through positive thoughts, through positive affirmations, through yoga, through breathing practices, we stoke up this inner fire, we fill up that hole so that we have that connected feeling to life in every single moment. Not just fleeting moments when you have sex or eat really crappy food that you know is no good for you, but you do it anyway because it's like, I'm filling this hole. You know? I only know this from my life. Or you go and feed that addictive tendency, be that alcohol, be that marijuana, be that substance. It fills the hole, right? But temporarily, and there's a consequence. So you're on your own now, so that if you want to play that out, you can, and you'll feel the consequences, and you'll realise that I don't want to do this anymore at some point. And it might go on for a long time until you want to change. Nothing happens until you want to change. And if you aren't changing, you don't want to change. That sounds brutal, but I only know it from my life. Yes, being alone will allow you to learn. Another reason why you're alone is to learn to start respecting yourself enough so that you don't let other people abuse you. Emotionally, physically, mentally. People are more than happy to abuse you. Bear in mind, it's nothing personal. It's all vibrational. They're not doing it to you. They're doing it because it's what they know. It's how they work. It's their conditioning that they're then projecting onto you. And as you're sensitive, you'll end up believing things that people say about you. You'll end up getting yourself into emotionally controlling situations where you're being controlled and manipulated for the other person's gain. Again, there's no blame, it's just the way they've been taught. Same with us, it's just the way that we've been taught to take it, to believe it, you know. And we're going alone now so that we stop doing that. We cut that energetic link, we cut that emotional bond with people that are open to abusing you, that are dishonest, that do lie. Because you're so worthy that you're not going to accept that in your life anymore. Even if that means being alone for a while. You will get better friends. Trust me. Take my word for it. You will. But you have to do the work first. And probably more friends will come. But you might see that they're quite karmic heavy friends. And what I mean by that is they're playing out roles of your past, they're reflections of your past. It's your karma that they've come into your life. And you might dabble with them and play with them a little bit. And that's fine until you realise that there's a karmic tie-up in there and that you're not actually serving yourself in that relationship anymore. And then that karma in you will drop because you don't want to play it out anymore. And you'll be alone again. And you'll be like, oh, why am I alone again? This sucks. I must be a horrible person. Nobody likes me. No, that's not the way the awakening process works. You're blessed. The awakening is happening because you're almost chosen, in a sense, to be alone right now so that you can change your life. Everybody else in the external world is changing their lives in ways that they understand. And because our society only understands Instagram, they're trying to, and social media and that at the moment, they're trying to bolster and improve their life through that, right? Or if they're not getting what they want through that, they go to try and improve their life feeling wise through drugs, alcohol, marijuana. Because in the moment it works, but it's actually toxic for us, isn't it? So you're now being given this power so that you can infuse your own life, infuse your own life with a power that doesn't require social approval, that doesn't require anything from the external world, because you're happy, peaceful, blissful on your own accord. And then you won't let people abuse you because you'll be like, I'm worth so much more than this, get out my life. Sounds horrible, but you have to be selfish sometimes so that you don't get yourself tied up into those karmic loops again with people that will happily play on that level with you, because you don't want to play on that level anymore, right? Maybe you do, in which case, fair enough, play away. There's no judgment. You're allowed to do whatever you want. You're so free that you can have yourself bound by these karmic ties, and that's fine. But when we get that instinct, that inner feeling to go deeper within and really become alone and self-reliant on our own energy, on our own mastery, on our own inner feeling sense, then it's time to cut those karmic ties with those people that no longer serve you because they're playing out those past karmic cycles with you. It's up to you. It is up to you when you set yourself free from bondage. Finally, the most important reason why you're alone is so that you go deeper into your practice. We call it sadhana, your daily spiritual practice. It is so important that you do it. You don't have to, again, you don't have to, but your life won't change until you do. Put simply, mine didn't. And we do it every single day because yoga and pranayams, breathing practices, meditation is progressive. It works every single day to churn out the karma as we begin to clear the karmic cycles in us. And it can be a hell of a ride, a real hell of a ride, and I get that. We can get pulled and twisted and bent out of shape in some instances, but that's why we do the sadhana, so it's easier to deal with those twists and turns and the roller coaster of life, those emotional pulls and life ripping your heart apart as you continue to do, for me, your heartbreaking sadhana that's required to bring you back to that pristine, still state within. I hope all of this made sense. Maybe I'm just the crazy lunatic on YouTube, and I'm open to that as well, because my life's changing in ways that are absolutely nuts and incredible, and I'm loving it. This is really real for me. I live this life. So I hope if you wish to take some of that advice on, you're more than welcome to. Don't have to. They're just some things that I learned through my journey. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day.